ठीक है. In last lecture we have started the unit number 2nd, free vibration of single degrees of freedom system, and from that some of the basic points we have covered in the last lecture related to the dynamic loads, static loads, degrees of freedom. Again we have seen the first derivation which is related to the undamped free vibration system. Up to this we have covered the points, and we have seen the most important point in last lecture, that is the mass spring damper system. That system is very important, and from that what is mean by the C coefficient, what is mean by the K, what is mean by the M, and what are the forces produces into the system, that all parameters we have seen. And based on this we have seen the different equations for the damped system, undamped system, with respect to the forced vibration and the free vibration. That much syllabus we have covered, and after that we have seen the first derivation, that is based on the undamped free vibration, and we have seen the what is the difference between damped system and the undamped system with respect to the forced vibration and free vibration. And based on this we have seen the derivation with respect to the diagram. That derivation is with respect to only undamped free vibration. So free vibration, the free vibration component is f of t. So that free vibration, so that f of t will be equal to 0. And undamped system, so that the damping coefficient will be become 0. So that in this way there is only the k and m coefficient will be there in the equation, and based on this the two forces will be produced, that is the internal forces and external forces are 0. Already we know any system having equal and opposite reaction, and based on this there is a equal and opposite reaction, that both are the forces like inertia force and damping force. Inertia force and spring force both are opposite to each other, and based on this the equation produces is mx double dot plus kx equal to 0. And this is the equation which is formed into the undamped free vibration system. And for that purpose this equation is one of the equilibrium equation, and we have to solve this equation by mathematically. And for that purpose, solving the linear equation, we have put that c into e raised to st, that is the displacement. And from the equation number 2 there are the displacement and the acceleration, both the values are over there. So for that purpose we have calculated the first derivative with respect to the displacement, we will get the velocity, and we will take the another second derivative, we will get the acceleration. And if we put these two values into the equation number 2, that will be produces the equation like a 5 number, c into ms square plus k we have seen the once again I will tell you. Now we have seen the last derivation, that is undamped free vibration system. You can see here the diagram of this undamped free vibration system. Damping coefficient is c, but in this derivation undamped name is over there, so that c coefficient will be become 0, and so that c parameter is not there. And second thing is that free vibration, the free vibration component is the f of t, and the free vibration is so that f of t equal to 0, so that both the terminologies are equal to 0. Remaining only two terminologies are here with respect to m and with respect to k, and so that the m with respect to inertia force and k with respect to the spring force, and both these forces are produced in this system and they are opposite to each other. And so that equation produces, that is the equation number 1, mx double dot is equal to minus kx, and based on this equation the second equation will be produces mx double dot plus kx equal to 0. Okay, and this is a mx double dot plus kx equal to 0. This is the equilibrium equation, and that equilibrium equation we have to solve by the mathematically, and for that purpose we have put that x of t is equal to c into e raised to st, from the linear differential equation. And when we take the first derivative, that will be a x dot of t, that is the velocity. We will take the second derivative, that is the x double dot, that will be produces a acceleration. And if we put these two values, that x dot and x double dot and x in terms of the equation number 2, there is a equation number 5 will be produces, and it is the c into ms square plus k equal to 0. And from that, if a and b term equal to 0, a into b is equal to 0, as per the mathematical equation, a is equal to 0 and b is not equal to 0. And from that, ms square plus k equal to 0. And from that, directly s will be equal to plus or minus k by m raised to 1 half. That is the root of k by m, and root of k by m is the natural frequency, and it is termed as omega n. And s term would be become as a plus or minus I omega n, I square equal to minus 1, so that minus 1 will be come under the I, and root of I square is equal to I into omega n. And if we take this value x of t in terms of two coefficients, it will be produces x of t is equal to c1 into e raised to alpha t plus c2 into e raised to alpha t, where alpha is the omega n t and e raised to minus I alpha t. Already we know from the mathematical formulas, e raised to plus or minus I alpha t is equal to cos alpha t plus or minus I sin alpha t. If we put this formula into the x of t, then we will produce here the equation as a x of t is equal to a1 cos omega nt plus a2 sin omega nt. And from that, the coefficients c1 and c2 are the constant, and the x of t is equal to a1 into cos omega nt plus a2 into sin omega nt, that is equation number 9 produces. And based on this, if we go for the boundary conditions, we'll get directly the values of constant a1 and a2. And for that boundary conditions, which are the boundary conditions? At time t is equal to 0, the displacement x is equal to x naught, and the time t is equal to 0, velocity is equal to v naught. If we put these two boundary conditions in the equation number 9, as a displacement x is equal to x naught at time t is equal to 0, we will get the value of a1. If we put the second derivative of if we put the first derivative of x of t, there will be again changes, and the cos term will be getting changed into sin, and sin term will be getting changed into the cos. And based on this, we will get the value of a2. And both these value a1 and a2, if we put into the equation number 9, we will get the solution of this equation subjected to the initial condition of free vibration of undamped system. That much we have seen, and that is the first derivation in this unit number 2. Okay, in this way we have covered the derivation number 1. Same way, derivation second is very important, and that is a very big derivation with respect to the three parts for the critically damped system, undamped system, and overdamped system. And that derivation we will see in the tomorrow's lecture, because this derivation is a very big derivation. And based on this, we will see the remaining part which is remaining from this derivation number 2. We will see directly towards the multiple elastic forces. This is a simple part. The multiple elastic forces, when two springs in our single degrees of freedom system, there are the spring forces are there, and that are because of the springs. And these in the springs there are the force. There is a spring forces are restored into the spring, and these are the, if the springs are in a parallel position, there are the equations k equivalent spring constant will be there, and sometimes that springs are in a series. You can see here the diagram. In that diagram, there are the first diagram, k1 and k2 are in a parallel position, and the second diagram, that k1 and k2 are in a series position. and based on this K equivalent they have calculated. How that will be here? K equivalent is equal to, in parallel position, K1 plus K2, and in the series that 1 upon K equivalent is equal to 1 upon K1 plus 1 upon K2. Okay, means the springs are in a parallel position and springs are in a series position. In both these diagrams, that the spring constant K1 plus K2, and the 1 upon K equivalent is equal to 1 upon K1 plus 1 upon K2, and the compressed distance that will be x1 equal to x2, and in this series that will be a x1 upon x2 is equal to K2 upon K1. And same way energy stored is equal to E1 upon A2 is equal to K1 upon K2, and E1 upon A2 is equal to K2 upon K1. In this way, that multiple elastic forces, only the important thing is there, you have to calculate the K equivalent, and for that purpose that problems are given here. In the problem number 1, you can see here K1 K2 they are in a parallel position, K1 K2 in the second diagram they are in a series position, and from that K equivalent is produced, that K equivalent is equal to K1 plus K2, and in the second, the 1 upon in series position, 1 upon K equivalent is equal to 1 upon K1 plus 1 upon K2. The same question will be asked for the your examination, university examination. That equation, that is the write a equation of motion of free vibration of a system given below. That question is asked for your previous year examination. You can draw this such a diagrams in your notebook also. First diagram is with respect to K, L and EI, where L is the length, K is the stiffness, and EI is the modulus of rigidity. Where in the second diagram there is a K and 2K, both these spring constant, they are in parallel position with respect to mass M. And third one is a K and 2K, both these are the spring constant K, are in a series position with respect to mass M. And in the last fourth one, K and K both are parallel, and both these are parallel. KK are series with 2K with respect to M. And the question will be asked in the examination, the write equation of motion of free vibration of system given below. Means based on this system you have to go for the finding out the which type of equation will be here. And in these four equations, in these four diagrams, only M and K values are there. Means M is the mass, that is the inertia force will be produced, and second thing is that K is there, means that spring force will be produced. There is a no C, and second thing is that there is a no C, so that is the damped, that is the undamped system, and there is a no external force, that is the f of t. F of t is 0, means you have to see first the which type of the equation is here. Which type of the equation, means it is a free vibration or forced vibration, it is a damped or undamped. In this way you have to check first, and based on this you will go for the K equivalent values, and you have to put the K equivalent value into the equation of motion. So let us see here, these four equations are having only K value and M value, is that system is a undamped system and a free vibration system. So that only M, that is the M is the inertia force, and the second is the K, that is the spring force will be produced into the system. So we will see here the equation number 1, that is the 1 upon K equivalent, because of this first force is in a series position, so that will be 1 upon K equivalent is equal to 1 upon K. So that will be produces K equivalent is equal to K, and so that the equation produces mx double dot plus K equivalent into x equal to 0. In the second equation, in the second diagram, you will see here that K and 2K both are in a parallel position and with respect to mass M. So that when springs are in a parallel position, there will be addition of these two springs. And so K equivalent will be equal to K1 plus K2, that will be K plus 2K, that will produce 3K. so that the equation produces is mx double dot plus 3kx equal to 0. Same will go for the third diagram. There are the k and 2k, both are in a parallel position, both are in a series position with respect to the mass m, and that will be produces k equivalent is equal to 1 upon k equivalent, because of they are in series, equal to 1 upon k1 plus 1 upon k2, 1 upon k plus 1 upon 2k, k1 is equal to k and k2 is equal to 2k, and based on this 1 upon k equivalent is equal to 3 upon 2k, and k equivalent produces is a 2k upon 3. If we put this into the equation, that will produces mx double dot plus k equivalent into x equal to 0. That is the mx double dot plus 2 by 3k into x equal to 0. And the last diagram, which shows the two springs are in a parallel position, and again they are in a series position with respect to 2k. 1 upon you can see here 1 upon k equivalent is equal to 1 upon 2k, because k and k both are in a parallel position in example number 4. And after that again second 2k, that is in a series position with respect to kk, first kk, so that the k equivalent is equal to 1 upon 2k plus 1 upon 2k, both are in a series position, so that it will produces 1 upon k, so that k equivalent is equal to k, and so that the equation produces as a mx double dot plus kx equal to 0. Such types of the questions will be asked for your examination. That question is already asked in the last year examination. You can see here for the multiple elastic forces, when two springs are in a parallel position and two springs are in a series position. When springs are in a parallel, there will be a addition of these two springs k1, k2, and when springs are in a series position, there will be a 1 upon k1 plus 1 upon k2, that will be produces 1 upon k equivalent. So same these same formulas regarding the k springs are in a parallel and springs are in a series position, you have to apply in the all the types of the questions which are asked for the write a equation of motion of free vibration system given below, and such diagrams are given, but you have to see over there the which type of the system is there. If the system is a damped, undamped, forced or free, in each and every system there will be a k will be over there, and so only you have to put the k equivalent value in the equation, but with respect to the parameters that are given into the system. So in this system only k and m values are there, means c coefficient that is 0 and the force that is also 0, so that system is becomes mx double dot plus kx equal to 0. That is the come under the undamped free vibration system. Okay, in this way there is a questions asked for your examination, you will see. Again coming towards the next problem, that is a diver weight is 70 kg standing at the end of 1.5 meter cantilever diving board oscillates at a frequency of 2 Hz. Calculate flexural rigidity of a diving board. Diving board, that diving board is a diving board having a weight is 70 kg and which is standing at a 1.5 meter cantilever diving board oscillates at a frequency of 2 Hz. Means in this problem there is a first thing is diving board is given and which is oscillates with a frequency of 2 Hz. How many frequency? That 2 Hz. Hertz is a frequency unit. So you can already we know the natural frequency omega n is equal to root of k by n. That formula is a very important natural frequency, that is the basic natural frequency formula. Omega n is equal to root of k by m. K is the stiffness, spring stiffness, and m is the mass of the system. And from that formula is the omega n is equal to root of k by m. And from that we have to calculate here the flexural rigidity. You can see here a diving board, which is standing at the end of 1.5 meter cantilever diving board and oscillate at a frequency of 2 hertz. How many frequencies here given? 2 hertz frequency is given, and calculate the flexural rigidity of diving board. That given data you can see here, omega n is equal to omega n, that is the natural frequency, is given 2 hertz. Hertz we have to calculate here. Hertz we have to convert in terms of radian per second. So how we can convert it into the radian per second? By multiplying the twice pi. 2 into twice pi, directly it will become under the radian per second, 12.56 radian per second. Remember this. Hertz we have to convert by multiplying the twice pi, so it will be converted into the radian per second. And already we know omega n is equal to root of k by m, where k is equal to omega n into omega n into root of m. Already we know the m value, already we know the omega n value, and from that if we put these two values, directly we will get the k value. And for the cantilever, that is the standing board, that is standing at the end of 1.5 meter cantilever diving board, so that will become a cantilever beam. And for the cantilever beam, that k value, that is the spring value, that is the stiffness value, it will be become as a 3ei upon l cube. If we put this value, k value and l value, in, we will get the ei value directly. We will get directly the value of ei. K is equal to 3ei upon l cube. Ei is equal to, already we know the k value upon l cube, that is the l value is the 1.5, and divided by 3, we can get the value of flexural rigidity of a diving board. Okay, that is the question number 2. Next question, that is for the comparison from the natural frequency 1 and natural frequency 2 with respect to the mass and with respect to the natural frequency. We can see here a spring mass system has a mass m in kg and stiffness k in Newton per meter. It has a natural frequency of 12 hertz. For a second condition, it has been reduced to 2 hertz and mass increases by 2 kg. Calculate the mass and stiffness value from the given data, and formula used is omega n is equal to root of k by m. Means in this system there are the first condition and second condition, both these conditions are given. There is from the first condition, m is the mass, and the second condition, that mass is increases with respect to initial mass m plus 2. Again there is natural frequency, that is 12 hertz, and in the second natural frequency, second condition, natural frequency is reduces by 2, and that will be become 12 minus 2, it will be equal to 10 hertz. And already we have seen, we have to convert this hertz natural frequency in terms of radian per second by multiplying the twice pi, so that will be become omega n1 is equal to 75.40 radian per second, and into the omega n2 value there will be a 10 into twice pi, that will be become 62.53 radian per second. And we use here in both this first condition and second condition, omega n is equal to root of k by m. So you can see omega n1 is equal to root of k by m. Omega n1 already we know, that is the 75.40, and k by m, that is the k by m is equal to the squaring on both sides, it will be become 5685.16 k by m. K is equal to 5685.16 into m, that is the mass. And in second condition there is a omega n, that is the 62.53 is equal to root of k by m plus 2, squaring on both the sides, it will be become 3947.60 into m plus 2 is equal to that k value in terms of m, that is the 5685.16 meter, and in both this way there are the m value. So by solving this equation we will get the m value is equal to 4.54 kg, and if we put this value in terms of k, we will get the value of k, that is the 25510.62 Newton meter. In this way you can see here the equation. Such a types of the questions will be asked for your examination. Okay, we'll see once again that both these questions once again. A diver weight 70 kg standing at the end of the 1.5 meter cantilever diving board at a frequency of 2 Hz. बघा यामध्ये काय दिलेलं आहे, अ डिविंग बोर्ड आहे, तो डिविंग बोर्ड कुठे उभा केलेला आहे, तो डिविंग बोर्ड that oscillate, that is the cantilever diving board which is standing end of the 1.5 meter cantilever diving board and which is oscillated at a frequency of 2 Hz. Means frequency is given, that length is given, and we have to calculate the model that is flexural rigidity, and the weight is also given, that is the 70 kg, and that is the cantilever beam will be produced with respect to the length is 1.5 meter. Omega n is equal to, already we know omega n, that is the natural frequency, already they have given, that is the 2 Hz, and Hz will convert in terms of radian per second by multiplying the twice pi, and it will be produced as 2 into twice pi, that will be a 12.56 radian per second, and omega n is equal to root of k by m, that formula already we know, and based on this, that k is equal to omega n into root of m, and so that we will get the directly value of 11053.95, that is the Newton per meter. And if we go for the next, that is the cantilever beam, that from this cantilever beam already we know the stiffness value, k is equal to 3 ei upon l cube, and ei is equal to kl cube upon 3, that already we know that k value, already we know the l value, and divided by 3. Based on this we will get the, that is the flexural rigidity of the diving board, that is the 12435.69 Newton meter raised to 4. Okay, and next problem, that is the, already we have seen, once again we will see here, the spring mass system has a mass m in kg, stiffness k in Newton per meter, it has natural frequency of 12 Hz. For second condition it has been reduced to 2 Hz, mass increases by 2 kg, calculate the mass and stiffness value, given data already given, and the formula used is omega n is equal to root of k by m, and from that you can see we or compare both these condition, that is the for first condition and the second condition. The first condition is given m1 is equal to m, second condition k1 is equal to k, and in the natural frequency they have given as a 12 Hz for the first condition. In the second condition they have given the mass, that mass is increases by the plus 2, that spring constant k is same for both the conditions, and the natural frequency is reduced by 2, that is the 12 minus 2, that will become a 10 Hz, and omega n1 omega n2 both are known now, and but we have to go for the changing the unit from Hertz to the radian per second by multiplying the twice pi. So 12 multiplied by twice pi, it will be become as a 75.40 radian per second for omega n1, and for the omega n2 again it will be become 10 Hz, 10 into twice pi, that will become a 62.5 radian per second. And already we know the formula, omega n is equal to root of k by m, and from this equation if we put these two values for first condition and second condition, we will get the value of k and the value of m. So that this is the problem number 3rd. from this unit number second. We'll see the last problem, that is the for a spring mass damper system. Some of the formulas, important formulas that are given here, which are related to the derivation number second. For a spring mass damper system, M is equal to 50 kg. Find following. A critical damping, that is the Cc part, is given. K is equal to 5000 Newton per meter. Damped natural frequency, that is the C is equal to Cc by 2, and logarithmic decrement, that is the we have to calculate. All these parameters are related to the remaining chapter. So we'll see this question number 2 related to the Cc, related to the omega d, omega n, and related to the logarithmic decrement, that will be see after the completing the unit. Okay. So after this, we have covered from the today's lecture multiple elastic forces when these forces are in a series, and multiple elastic forces that when springs are in a series, springs are in a parallel position with respect to their derivation, and for the different conditions there are how this equation of motion is getting changed with respect to the spring K1, K2, K3, K4. 40 minutes may be over. You can join immediately once again. Okay. Damped free vibration. In the last derivation, that was the first derivation, we have seen a undamped free vibration. So undamped, so that C coefficient was over there 0, and free vibration is over there, so that free vibration parameter f of t already over there 0. But in this second derivation, that name changed as a damped free vibration. Means damping coefficient is provided in this system, so that name as a damped system, and free vibration, that f of t will be equal to 0. Only changes is with respect to the C value. C value is given is nothing but that is a damped system, and free vibration means f of t will be equal to 0. So based on this, you can see here the diagram. In this diagram, there is a k parameter, that is the that is the spring constant K with respect to the restoring force. M is the mass, that is the inertia force, that is with respect to the mass into acceleration. And the C parameter is shown here, that is C is nothing but a damping coefficient, and that will become a C, that is the damping coefficient, and which is proportionate with respect to the velocity, that already we have seen in the last lecture. Now what we have seen, the K is the spring constant K, and which is proportionate with respect to the displacement, and that force, restoring force, produces as a K into X, that proportionate with respect to K into X, means restoring force K into X. C is the damping coefficient, and which is changes, which is proportionate with respect to the velocity, so that Cx dot, that is the damping force. And third one is the mass, which is proportionate with respect to the acceleration, and so that third force will become a inertia force, that is the mass into acceleration. And last, that these are the three equations, that three are the forces, that is the inertia force, damping force, and spring force. These three forces are the inertial force, and external force, that is the f of t, that is not given here, so that will be equal to 0, and so that system is becomes the free vibration system. And based on this, there are the equation produces with respect to the inertia forces. In this, m is changes proportionate with respect to the acceleration. So mx double dot, and which is opposite to the k into x and cx dot. So that equation will become in the in the addition of three forces. First one is the inertia force, damping force, and the spring force. Okay. In many practical systems, the vibrational energy is gradually converted to heat or sound, and due to the reduction in the energy, the response, such as the displacement of the system, gradually decreases. The mechanism by which the vibrational energy is gradually converted into heat or sound is known as damping. As stated earlier, the viscous damping force F is proportional to the velocity, that is the x dot or v, and can be expressed as F is equal to Cx dot, that is the damping force. Okay, means damper, you can see here the damper which is provided. Why this damper is provided? For the dissipation of energy, and that's why that energy is this mechanism by which the vibrational energy is gradually converted into heat or sound is known as the damping. Means one form to the another form, that whatever the energy that will be getting dissipated is known as the damping, and that damping force is proportionate with respect to the velocity, and so that the damping force is produces as a Cx dot, that will be that is shown into the equation number 13, that is the minus Cx dot. Why? These are the opposites to the inertia forces, where C is the damping coefficient or the coefficient of viscous, and negative sign indicates that damping force is opposite to the direction of velocity. Okay, in this way the F is equal to Cx dot, and from this you can see here the equation. From this diagram you can see here the mx double dot, that inertia forces opposites the both these values related to the inertia, that is related to the spring constant and second spring force, and second one is the damping force, and that will be produces mx double dot is equal to minus Cx dot minus Kx equal to 0, and so that equation will become mx double dot plus Cx dot plus Kx equal to 0. And same in this way, that equation will become as a single degree of freedom system for damped free vibration system, and that equation is a equilibrium equation. So we can solve this equation by the linear differential equation formulas with respect to x of t is equal to c into e raised to st. Same we have to put that x of t is equal to c into e raised to st. But in this equation number 15, there are the displacement value with respect to x dot, that is the velocity with respect to the that c coefficient with respect to the x dot, that is the velocity, and third one is the x double dot, that is the acceleration. So we have to calculate the first derivative and second derivative. If we put these two derivatives in terms of the equation number 15, we'll get the quadratic equation. Okay, so we'll take the first derivative, that is the x dot of t, that is the dx by dt, and that will become cs into e raised to st. I will take the second derivative, that will become x double dot is equal to d2x by dt square is equal to cs square into e raised to st. This 17 and 18 equation, if we put into the 16, that will become a equation number 19. That is the c into ms square plus cs plus k equal to 0. And when a into b equal to 0, at that time a is equal to 0 and b is not equal to 0. So same way c is not equal to 0, so that ms square plus cs plus k equal to 0, and that is one quadratic equation. And we will solve this quadratic equation by the formula, that is the minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac upon 2a. already we know that A value, B value and C value. A value is the M value, B value is the C value and C value is the K value. If we put these three values in terms of the formula, we will get the S1 and S2 values, and which are those minus C plus or minus root of C square minus 4mk upon twice M. And based on this, if we split these values, minus C by twice M plus or minus root of C by twice M bracket square minus K by M, means S1 and S2 are having the minus and plus values, so that the roots of equation are in terms of minus and the plus, that is the first one and the second one, so that equation x1t will be become as a c1 into e raised to s1t, x2 will be become as a c2 into e raised to st. Why? The roots of the equations are 2, so that the total x of t will become with respect to the equation, with respect to the constant 1 and constant 2, and that will be c1 into e raised to s1t plus c2 into e raised to s2t. So both this x of t, if both this value of s1 and s2, if we put into this equation, that equation number 18 will be produced, where c1 and c2 are the arbitrary constants to be determined using initial conditions of the system. Okay, in this way we have seen here the sum of the part of the derivation number second, that is the damped system with a free vibration. Okay, and based on this, there are the three vibrations, there are the three damping systems, which are, first one is the under damped system, over damped system and the critical damped system. And for these three, there are the some of the boundary conditions are there, some of the equations are there, that will be solved into the next lecture. Okay, so we'll see first, we'll take a revision of this all, whatever the points we have covered into the today's lecture. Okay, and then we'll stop here. Okay, we have seen the first, we have seen the derivation number 1, that is related to the free vibration of for free vibration of undamped system. त्यामध्ये काय बघितलं आपण, we have seen the diagram of the undamped system of free vibration. We have seen the equation of this equation of motion for undamped free vibration system. We have solved this equation, and based on this we have applied the boundary conditions, and after applying the boundary condition at time t is equal to 0, x is equal to x naught, and at time t is equal to 0, velocity is equal to v naught, we will get the last equation. That equation is the equation of motion for undamped free vibration system, that we have seen. After that we have seen the last point, that is the multiple elastic forces when the springs are in a parallel position and springs are in a series position. We have seen the multiple elastic forces with respect to springs are in a parallel and springs are in a series position. We have calculated the K equivalent. K equivalent is equal to K1 plus K2. K equivalent in a series we have seen 1 upon K equivalent is equal to 1 upon K1 plus 1 upon K2. And based on this, we have solved the some of the problems which are asked for the previous examinations, and that are the with respect to K, when the two springs are in a parallel, after that they are again in a series position, and based on this we have calculated the K equivalent value, and based on the system like a damping system or undamping system, forced or free, we have calculated the equation of motion for the system in terms of K equivalent, and if we put it over there, we will get the K equivalent. We have to in this there is a very important point is here, only calculating the K equivalent, that is not important, but you have to put that K equivalent value in terms of equation, that is very important. So K equivalent you have to calculate, and afterwards you have to be put that value in terms of that equation of motion, which type of the system, that is very important. When you put this in terms of the equation, then and then you will get the overall marks. Okay, After that, we have seen the some of the problems based on the natural frequency that are related to the omega n is equal to root of k by m. That mass is given, that we have to calculate the flexural rigidity when the mass is given, frequency is given. From the frequency we will get the value of k, and from that the cantilever beam is over there, so that if we put that stiffness value k 3 ei upon l cube, we will get the value of ei. Again, last problem we have seen, that is the a spring mass damper system has a mass m, k is the stiffness. That natural frequency is given, that is 12 hertz for the first condition. Second condition is given as a 10 hertz. That m is the for first condition, m plus 2 is for second condition. And based on this, if we put the value of omega n is equal to root of k by m, that is the natural frequency, and from that directly we will get the k value and the m value from the given data. Okay, in this way we have seen the various problems and the various problems based on the multiple elastic forces and the natural frequency. And we have seen the derivation number 1, that is the undamped free vibration system, and we have started the second derivation, that is related to the damped free vibration system. Up to this we have covered the today's lecture. Okay, thank you. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Thank you, everyone.